So, Two Notes just released an update to Genome version 1.4 with 2 new premium component amplifiers and 1 free pedal. So I'm going to look at all the new stuff in this video. There's timestamps for everything below. Also, if there's anything in particular you want me to do with those amplifiers or anything like a full video with them, let me know in the comments below as well, because I'm going to sort of try and skim through it quickly today. Also, just want to mention right from the start, this was provided by Two Notes, so this is what you would call a sponsored video, and thank you to Two Notes. Now, Two Notes aren't paying me for this, they just gave me an advanced copy of this, so pre-release copy of the software. They wanted me to tell them what my thoughts are, and now I'm telling you guys what my thoughts are. That's not their thoughts, they're my thoughts that you hear in this video. Yeah, and thanks to Two Notes once again, and thank you to you guys for watching. Now, what's new, you may ask? This is new. So this is the free component in this update. So you get this for free if you update to Genome 1.4. You get the NG1 noise gate. Now, I'm guessing a lot of people maybe were complaining, especially probably more the chugga inclined, about the gate that's built in, that it wasn't quite reactive enough to chugga-ing. So Two Notes provided this to NG1 noise gate, few more options and a few more things. I think it actually works really, really well. The other thing, so this is now one of the premium components. So all I know is at time pre-release, they say it's €19.99, so €20. I'm guessing it'll be similar to that in dollars for each component. So this is the ROCKRIDER Amp, based on a Mesa Boogie Badlander 2-channel amp in purple, which looks rather spiffy and looks more on the angrier inclined kind of side of music. And the other thing, which I think I'm really excited about, is this. The Molly, which is based on a Bogner Ecstacy, which I think is just one of those amps. I love the sound of that amp. With all the knobs, all the switches, lots of option parameters if you want to go that far. But killer sounding amp. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you want me to go through anything in particular. I'm going to try and be fairly quick with everything and just give a couple of sound examples, timestamps for everything below. Now, to begin with anyway, let's plug a guitar in. And I thought for the kind of amplifiers and for a noise gate, you need something a little bit more in sound. So I'm going for my Les Paul. This is my Les Paul R8, and you can watch a video up here on my love-hate relationship with this guitar and explanation of all that. From this, it goes via my Peterson Strobostomp HD tuner, which is over there, always on my desk, straight into the front of my Audient RD44 interface, and then straight into Logic. Now, I did a video, and you can watch the video up here, and I'll link to it in the description below as well, about all the different terms when it comes to interfaces. So you've got mic level, line level, instrument level, you may have a DI in. If you, I don't know, if this confuses you, that video might help with the different terms and impedance issues you may encounter and all that sort of stuff. So check out that video in the description below. Okay, so let's start off, because I like the look of it the best. Let's start off with the Molly. Let's get rid of those two things and let's put a cabinet here. And let's just start off with the default cabinet. But I think to begin with, let's look at the front panel. Is it? Yeah, we have noise, but quickly let's look at the front panel. So that's one of the more confusing things with the Ecstasy, because you've got so many switches, but one of the good things here is it kind of blacks out or darkens out the bits that are not currently used. So if we're going from left to right, to begin with, we've got the power amp section. Now this is part of the TSM AI amplifier thing that Two Notes is now doing. So what you can actually do with this is you can turn the power amp section off. I'm not 100% sure if this is based on the Ecstasy 101A or 101B. The 101A is the American voiced, or more American voiced 6L6 power amp, tube amp, and a 101B is the more British voiced with the EL34s in it. To me, this is maybe a bit more EL34s. That's just my opinion, but I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't say, or pre-release, it doesn't say what this is based on anyway. So with this, you can turn the power amp section on and off. So, and it also shows it blackens out the bits that are related to the power amp section. So if you want to use, for example, the TSM power amp, where you can change to different tubes and do all the different settings, this is where you would go, right? So you would turn this off. I'm leaving it on for now, just because we're using what's in it, just to see what it sounds like. Now, you have a master volume and master presence control, which is related to that, which is also on all the different channels. It just works on all the channels. You've got an old and new switch, so I guess a more vintage and a more modern style voicing. You've got a Class A and Class AB, and you've got excursions. Now, again, 3 different voicings. You've got an L voicing, an M voicing, and a T voicing. Yeah, we'll go through them and see what the different sounds are. Then you have the channel switch. So currently we're on channel 3, so volume 3, treble 3, mids 3, bass 3, and gain 3 are selected. If you switch this, you can see that now channel 1 has volume 1, gain 1, and treble, mids, bass volume for here. Now volume 2, or channel 2 and 3 are sharing an EQ. On the amp to share an EQ, but on here, you can actually, if you change this to whatever you want to change it to, if you flick to channel 3, you actually have, it remembers the controls. So you have separate EQ controls for each channel, right? And if you double click on these knobs, they center again, and let's just center them just to go with that. Now, for each channel, and I know there's a lot of talking, but just skip ahead if you don't want to hear it, but I mean, if you want to know how to use it. Now, for each channel, you have a pre-EQ. So channel 1 has it here, channel 2 has it here, and channel 3 has it over here. Pre-EQ basically is kind of like a bright switch. You've got a normal setting, a bright setting, and a bright plus setting. That's all the clean channel has. Now, channel 2 and 3 also have a boost, a low and a high boost. Basically, if you wanted to more boosted, pretty self-explanatory, and a plexi switch. Now, the plexi switch gets rid of the boost as well. It goes to a more lower gain setting, but it sort of fattens up. It's a lower gain, fat, sort of cleanish, edge of breakup-ish, kind of not super high gainy sound, kind of like a plexi. And you have that for channel 2 or for channel 3, so you can select either or. So let's just turn it on now. So by default, it's when you first turn it on, it starts in channel 3. So let's just start with channel 3. Default sound, bridge pickup, Les Paul, G chord. Let's try out, I actually played it before with a different cabinet, which I thought sounded much better. Let's try it out with, there's an XT cab. Let's just go for that. And just the default stuff, let's just... I think that sounds great, just like that. So let's quickly check out, so pre-EQ. So we've got normal. Probably just bright, sounds good. High and low boost. And we've got the plexi control, so the gain will go away. Volume drops, gain goes away, it just turns into this sort of like a plexi sound, pushed clean kind of sound. Now let's leave it at that and let's check out the different excursions. We're an M at the moment. Probably for me the way to go. And then let's check a Class A and Class AB. I'll go Class AB. Old or new? Old board seems to be almost a little bit more scooped. Little less tight in the bottom end too, maybe? Less defined? I mean, we haven't even started yet with gain. I mean, there's... Sounds great. And then let's go to channel 2. Slightly less gain channel. We can also... To me, that sounds great. I think that's a really good sounding. I like the Bogner stuff. And then let's check out lastly, everyone's favorite, the clean channel. But I think it's got a good clean channel, so... I'll probably go for normal. Maybe let's check out old here. Gets a lot quieter. You can get a bit of gain out of channel 1 too. I think it sounds pretty cool. And then, I mean, you can always, to make things sound even cooler, the thing I always do is you add a second cabinet. And for me, especially when it, you know, with cleaner stuff, what I like is I have a 4x12 and then maybe add a 4x10. Actually, this one I quite like to open the 50s style one. And then maybe let's add a little bit of reverb at the end here, like just some studio reverb. Let's bring the dry wet right down. Like I said, let me know if you want me to do another video with this, or or more in-depth video with this, but to me it's 3 great channels. It's a cool sounding amp. Okay, let's change from Molly to ROCKRIDER. Now ROCKRIDER, and actually it's also, while we're doing a ROCKRIDER, because this is maybe the more chugga high gainy thing, let's add under dynamic the noise gate, because there's a bit of noise there now, and now the noise is gone. So I'm adding it into kind of like the effects loop, I guess, of the amplifier. You can stick it in front as well, but I don't know. Let's just put it in there. So this is a default sound again with those same cabinets. But maybe with this is more angry stuff. Let's not do the 4x10. I actually really quite like this one. This is a mixed cabinet called The One. I'm not sure what speakers are in it, but it sounds good. And then if you go to this little bit and maybe pan that, maybe, I don't know, 25 that way, and that about 25 that way, and then add the reverb, you get this massive sound. Let's check out the amp. So basically, again, by default, it goes to crush on channel 2. But pretty much, if you set this to, if you go to channel 1 and set this to crush, to me they sound the same. I think they're 2 identical channels. So let's just go with this. So you basically got everything at 12 o'clock, you've got a clean channel. You have a crunch channel. And you've got a crush channel. Again, you don't have to do much, it sounds great. The noise gate works really well too, actually. Let's check out modern vintage. It's on a modern setting at the moment. It sort of tightens up the bottom end. Maybe there's some low mids are slightly different, I don't know, but it definitely is tighter in the modern setting. The bottom end is a bit different in vintage, and let's check it out in crunch as well. Just gets bigger in modern. Now 120 watt, to me the 20 watt has a sort of honkiness to it. The mids shift quite drastically. Maybe for lead stuff, the 20 watts is almost, it has more mid push, more that honkiness, that kind of cuts. That's more scooped sounding, the 100. And then yeah, you can turn the power amp off as well and use a different power amp. But if you want me to do a full video with that, let me know in the comments below and I'll see if I can do a full video with that amp. a gate works. That's something you probably won't hear me say very often, but there's almost too much gain here. It goes it gets like too big. The gate works well. So to me, that's almost too much gain. So if we turn the gain down and crush. See, crunch and high gain sounds great. So clean, you can crunch it up quite a bit as well, with humbuckers anyway. I actually really like the clean channel on this. I think this is a good sounding, very dynamic. Let's not go crazy with the gain all the way up, but... Bit of studio reverb. Actually, let's be really wild. And let's put the ping pong delay there too. Just on a default setting. That was from the last update. I think that sounds great. And then you flick over to, okay, let's do that. Let's flick over to, well, I think with crunch, with crush, you just leave it. I think just that sounds great. I mean, you change the IRs and stuff and you get tons of different sounds. But that, maybe bass down a little bit, maybe presence up on that side as well. That's a great... And if we're using that sound now and checking out the noise gate with that... Let's just get rid of the ping pong and the reverb for a second. Because one of the things that you always get with noise gates is that it's great for the chordal playing. But then, hey, actually, can maybe pull the threshold down a bit. Yeah, it doesn't need to be that much. But then the problem is you hold a note because you're playing a solo, and it cuts it off, but it actually works quite well this way. And now it grabs it. I mean, you can, if you want it to be, high threshold, and you can set it to soft as well, so it doesn't just grab it instantly. almost had feedback in here. That's cool. It is a good gate. It works really well. Yeah, but I mean, that's a great sound. I mean, that was a sort of quick look at the two new premium component amplifiers and the new free component noise gate. I think the stuff that they're doing now is getting better and better and better. I mean, my thoughts, if you want to hear my thoughts, the new TSM stuff is getting really, really good. I think the last 3 amps in particular, the ROCKRIDER, the Molly, and the, what was the other one called? The Hector. They were really, really good. I mean, the other amps are great. I genuinely think this is getting up there to being one of the absolute best, in my opinion, software amp emulations available right now. And I really think, I don't know anything, I haven't even talked to them about it. I reckon if they stick Genome in a pedal, kind of like Quad Cortex style, this thing would just kill, absolutely kill, with all the stereo effects in it, with multiple dynamic IRs. Also, because I mean, not only do you have those amplifiers, you also have the codecs thing where you can then put NAM files and captured amplifier files, ADA files, and all that sort of stuff in there as well. So it gives you a huge amount of variety. Anyway, that's it for all the new stuff in Genome version 1.4. Big thank you once again to 2Notes for letting me have early access to this. If there's anything in particular you want to see in a video out of all this or any other 2Notes stuff, let me know in the comments below and I'll see if I can do another video with it. And thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.